Hello everyone! I know it's not my typical content that I would do on this channel, but I felt like this issue is not issue, but these vacuums are not covered by YouTubers who've been sponsored by these companies. I actually paid money for all these 3 vacuums, and I wanted to cover because especially for people for whom mopping is important. For me, mopping is important. Most of my house, as you see, is hardwood and tile, and just a little area is a carpet. So what I decided to do, I wanted to make sure the vacuum actually has decent mopping with it. So I decided to try 3 vacuums, and you see 4 vacuums on this picture. Why? Because the Dreamebot W10 is the most recent I've purchased actually. After these 3 I'll have to return all of them. I wanted to keep 2. My initial idea was to either keep Roborock and expected to do everything, mopping and vacuuming, or Roborock was $650, or I could keep 2 of these vacuums and use them for separate tasks, like a TacLife S10 Pro, which is a really nice vacuum for $300. However, do not expect it to mop at all. It's kind of like a wet wiping. It's really not mopping, and it's really not efficient. It's very hard. So it's just a vacuum basically. And Shinebot W450, this is just a mop, very dedicated mop. It's an excellent, beautiful mop. However, there are some serious issues with this vacuum, which is why I'm returning it to the seller. So to put less exciting things aside, let's talk about TacLife first. TacLife is a really nice vacuum, and I think it's really great value still. It has a LiDAR and it has maps. The suction is pretty good. Again, I don't have much to say about if you have deep carpets, maybe it's not going to be enough. With that said, all robotic vacuums, they're actually weaker than handheld. You shouldn't expect the handheld power from the robotic vacuum, especially for deep carpeting. I don't think any of existing robot vacuums are going to be sufficient, in my opinion, again. So in this case, TacLife, it's going to do the job. Software is a little bit glitchy, but again, it's $300 product. You shouldn't expect as much from it as from Roborock for $650, right? So it's a decent vacuum. I could recommend it for $300. It's a good deal. So let's put it aside now. Now we come into these 3 vacuums that are mops as well. But in the middle is just a mop and not a vacuum actually. But that's a proper mop. I'm gonna show you in a second. That's a real washing, it's not even a mop, it's a floor washing vacuum, and it's gonna suck in the water as well. I'll show you in a second. Anyways guys, I moved my camera, so let's start from this one. This one doesn't have a LiDAR, it only guided by the camera at the top, which is, okay, let me move it a little bit, like that. So, which is nice, and if we turn it around, you will see that it's actually a washing vacuum. So it sprays the water and sucks it back in. So basically water goes onto the floor, then brush rubs the floor, and then water gets sucks back in. There are some major problems with this vacuum actually. So this is a compartment. It has a clean and dirty water compartment. This gets really dirty. You're gonna have to do a lot of maintenance to clean it. And not just that, because it's a robot vacuum, you would expect it to be more or less autonomous, which is not, sadly that's not the case. You're gonna have to literally bring it to the area. You're gonna have to also put it on a charging dock. It's not gonna go by itself on the charging dock. And I think this robot has such a great potential, and it makes me sad because it does create maps, but it's not able to save those maps. And it's making it like, trust me, it's making it so useless basically, because every single time it's like a first time. And the first time with these robots, it's not fun, trust me. They have to first map, and most of the time it's a struggle, but after they map, they become much smarter. This, however, it's never gonna become smarter. It would always map like a first time, basically, which is, it's a disaster pretty much. This is the best mop that could clean. I mean, in terms of cleaning, I don't have any doubts, I don't have to run any tests, I know that's gonna be a best solution for actual cleaning. However, as I used it for like 3 weeks, I tried to see if I can keep it, and every time I just find in myself just going somewhere, placing it in the location and just making it like a zone cleaning. So I have to designate the square like so many meters there, that side, so many meters this side, and this is how it cleans. If you just put it somewhere and just want it to clean, and you click like a clean button, like a quick clean, right? So what's gonna do, it's not gonna understand where the room is gonna be over. So let's say I wanna clean the kitchen, but my kitchen goes into living room, there is no door there. So there's absolutely no guarantee that it's gonna clean it could just clean a line and go into living room in the end. So this is absolutely uncontrollable, and unfortunately it doesn't make any sense in terms of automation, because it requires so much user participation that it's just, you might as well do it yourself, and it's maybe you're probably gonna do it faster as well. So even faster than the maintenance time required when it comes to cleaning this thing. Cleaning is also difficult because there is like very little hole here, and okay, here's the dirty compartment, and the hole is really little. A lot of stuff gets stuck right there inside as well, and it's by design. It's a design flaw. So this everything that it sucks in gets stuck over there, and it's really difficult to clean. So it's just a failed, unfortunately, product, and this is going back. Let's get to the next one. So now I was left with 2 vacuums, Roborock S7, which also comes with a base. I didn't purchase a base. Without the base, it's $650. With the base, it's $999, I believe. So roughly $1,000 with the base. The base is going to self-empty. It's going to self-empty the dustbin, basically. It's not gonna clean the mop. It's not gonna do any of that. So you're gonna have to clean the mop. With Dreemebot W10, it comes with the base. The base is going to take care of mopping, which is, I think, much more important than just cleaning the dustbin. Cleaning the dustbin is relatively fast. You just open this, pull it out, and we're gonna go to that actually later because I'm gonna show you the problems which YouTubers don't show normally for certain reasons, which I'm not gonna mention. You all probably understand. So they only test certain stuff, but they don't show you the design flaws that can actually get under your skin pretty fast. So, for example, let's start from Roborock. I mean, you guys all probably watched the reviews that cover the functionality and everything. First of all, initial setup, initial mapping with Roborock it's a disaster. It's really like, it's not a disaster. I wouldn't probably, it's too harsh of a word, but it could be better. Could be better. First of all, once you turn it on first time, in order to map your house, you actually have to start cleaning, and this is the case with all of these vacuums. I mean, except this one, but with Tac Life, you're gonna do it. But with Tac Life, you're gonna have to do it for $300. For $650, I have different expectation here. So this robot is not gonna, it doesn't have a quick mapping. And the very first robot I actually found with a quick mapping is the Dreemebot W10. It's a breeze. Initial setup is just goes with a LiDAR through your whole house, and it creates a very quick and actually accurate map, which is, I think it's cool, and well, I don't understand why everybody else doesn't have it. There is absolutely no problem to do it in terms of hardware. It's just little programming, and it could have been done. Yet they don't have it. So Roborock doesn't have it, Dreamebot does have it. And I'm only gonna point out certain differences here. Through the basic stuff, I'm not gonna go because you guys can just go to some popular YouTube channels and basically see it anyways. So both have LiDARs, both LiDARs work fine. Once the Roborock actually maps your house, it's actually pretty smart. It can detect the carpet, it can avoid the carpet, it can raise the mop on the carpet. What else? Let's go to the bottom of this Roborock first. And all these vacuums, they have this rotating, okay, hold on a second. Let's move it a little bit. Okay, all of them have all these rotating little thingies over here. And you can actually hear that it's already rubbing something. So the problem, which is I found ridiculous, for this kind of money, even like the Tack Life for $300, these things actually come off really quickly. Why? Because you're gonna absolutely get hair if you have dogs or people with long hair. In my case, it's my wife, so you can see a lot of hair here. This is gonna happen after like single cleaning. It's absolutely gonna pick up hair, and you're not gonna be able to remove it without a screwdriver. It was so ridiculous, so I would just actually keep the screwdriver by this vacuum just to be able to clean it, to maintain it. And obviously that's not what we all want from automation, home automation, right? We don't want to participate with it. It's supposed to save our time, not vice versa. So this is a really huge problem with this vacuum. I don't understand why they overlooked it like this, because they obviously know. I mean, it's obvious for them. They have a lot of experience with producing vacuums, robotic vacuums. The brush is really good. They patented this brush, so nobody else can use it, which is I'm not a big fan of, because it's like, it's not a, you know, such a huge patent material to just not use, just use rubber for it, like a silicone rubber. Yet they prevented everybody else. Nobody else can use this kind of brush now. The brush is actually good. Suction is okay. I don't have carpets, so I can't really judge the suction itself. The mopping part. This mopping part is better than others. Especially if I was comparing with Tack Life. Tack Life has really thin material here, and it's really hard and flat. So if your floor is not perfectly flat, in my case, my floor is not perfectly flat, even the tile is not. It's missing it. So Tack Life is not going to do it all. This one is doing kind of okay, but it's also missing. The coverage is not great, and the ultrasonic, what they call it, device inside that is actually doing really fast motions over here. Honestly, I don't see much difference in terms of cleaning. It misses, and on all YouTube channels I've seen like really horrible mess, and especially dry wine and all these chocolate marks that this vacuum is able to clean. I don't know how they test it, to be honest. It's really not doing as good of a job, especially on the first pass. Like, there is no way it's gonna do it, and if it's gonna do it, it's just gonna spread all this mess around all your kitchen, for example, if you want to do it in the kitchen. Another problem, it's not a problem, it's a by design, but it's what I find not optimal, is that you have to actually clean this pad. You have to remove it, and you have to clean it after every single room. Our house is relatively clean. We don't have like dirty animals. We only have a cat. Floors are relatively clean, and if we clean them like every 3 days, we don't even have to clean them often like that. So this is after cleaning. Yet after one cleaning, you would wanna, after one room, it's a 2,000 square feet house. After one room, you would wanna probably clean this already. And cleaning it involves removing it like that, going somewhere and washing it by hand, unless you have multiple, which is gonna make it a little better. But again, in terms of automation, I don't find this optimal. I don't think for this price, especially for $650 or $1,000 with the base, I think it could be done better, which is when we're gonna go to this Dreamebot W10. It's not perfect by any means, but it's a huge improvement, especially over mechanical parts. Immediately when I turned it on, as I'm an engineer, and you see the 3D Passion page, it's my work page, I design products, and I immediately after turned it on, I felt the quality of this product is significantly higher than Roborock, significantly. By the noise the motor makes, by the feel, like this part click into each other, like the whole casing is better, the casting is better, motor noise is better, and what's more important, this wheel drive is actually much more silent on this vacuum. Significantly more silent. It's like so much smoother compared to Roborock. When Roborock is riding into your house, it feels like it's rattling all over the place, and It's not as bad, however, you definitely will feel a difference when you get a superior built product. I'm not, as I said, I'm not sponsored by any of these companies. I'm the guy who actually pays full price for the stuff. And the difference, obviously, here you have a compartment with the water, which actually sprays here and it adds water as it goes. This one does not have any water compartments at all. All right, I forgot to tell you guys, what I found super unacceptable with Roborock for that price is they have a lot of experiences. How they overlook this? The dustbin. This dustbin is, it's, how to say it nicely? I mean, it's a failure. Like, once you pull it out, everything, I mean, it's empty now, obviously, but if it was full, this hole, it doesn't have this little cover on it over here. And once you pull it out, everything, even if you see now, like, it's all over the vacuum already. So it's not covering itself. And the way it's located like that. So you're gonna pull it out. You have to pull it out vertically. So this stuff, so many times I cleaned it, and like, there was not a single time I was able to pull it out without stuff just falling out of it. Like, everything falls out and you pull it. And if it's full, the vacuum is gonna have stuff inside of the brush as well. So once you just pull it out, everything just, like, it's making a mess. So this is an absolute design flaw. What is not design flaw, but also I didn't know it until I actually saw a better product, basically. Over here you can see this little door. It absolutely solves the problem that I just described to you with Roborock. And not just that, when I was comparing these two garbage bins, or whatever they're called, I'll show you something else. Okay, I'll have to clean this one second. Okay, now when both are sort of cleaned, especially on purpose, I didn't clean all of it. So with Roborock, after all the garbage falls out over here, by the way, Tack Life, I believe, I'm not too sure, but Tack Life, I think they have a door as well here. It does not fall out with a Tack Life. For half the price, Tack Life has a better compartment. So what happens with Roborock, I found myself cleaning the filter itself. I had to clean the filter like so many times because this is what happens to it, right? And when you have nothing to compare, filter has a lot of clumps inside, and everything gets into those clumps. Absolutely, it gets clogged, and you're gonna have to like vacuum this, or if you have a compressor or something, but you're gonna have to clean this so much, almost like after every time, basically. This is also really poor design. I didn't know it's poor until I actually saw a solution. This is Dreamebot W10 solutions to this, and if I pull out the filter itself doesn't get clogged with dust particles and hair because there is a little mesh over here that is protecting. And once I threw the garbage away from inside, I didn't know, and I was totally prepared to actually clean the filter as well. And then I just realized, oh wait, there is actually a protection there from the filter, and it's a super smart idea. I mean, it's logical. If you're an engineer who does it, you are expected to do it. However, the $1,000 setup for Roborock is not going to give you that. And once you pull out, which is actually, by the way, why you see compartments so dirty, because once you pull this thing out, it's all actually falls out completely. It's probably going to be solved somewhat by self-emptying base for $1,000, but I cannot comment on it. I'm not sure how much it's gonna solve, and I'm not sure how good it's gonna clean your filter, because filter gets really clogged here, and it's gonna require a lot of really heavy pressure to be able to pull out all that garbage from the filter, because it's already stuck there. Hair and little particles and everything, it's already there, and it's gonna be difficult. I'm not sure how well the base is gonna be able to clean that. You're gonna need a lot of air pressure to do that. Okay, this is about garbage compartment here. So this is a breeze to clean. It keeps the I cleaned it 3 times already on this model, and you can see how clean it is inside. Nothing falls off, and I didn't clean it myself. It's just such a clean installation here. So and once you press it in, you also feel it's how much more secure it's here. While over here it's like it's still like it's shaking inside. Over here I press it and I feel the resistance, and it's very well seated inside. Okay, this is about garbage compartments. The mopping on these two vacuums, it's different method. This is significantly more superior method compared to just dragging the wet towel, so to speak, along the floor. These things actually rotate, and that's how it cleans, basically. And when it goes into the base to clean this, as I told you, this is really a lot of work to just remove this and go and clean it every single time. You have to also flip the vacuum over, and again, it's okay, but we are talking about robotics and automation here. This is not automation. This requires a lot of user interference, right? Intervention, whatever. It requires a lot of user participation in the process, and that's not really robotics. It's like my Tesla, as I keep telling people, you know, if you have to literally sit by the steering wheel and hold it, you might as well drive it yourself, because you're gonna do it better. Autopilot is not that great. It's still a robot. It's like a robot vacuum. What I don't really like about this Dreamebot is the brush. People been complaining about the brush. I'm not the first one. It's still a superior brush, because you actually can just pull it like that. You don't have to use a screwdriver. It's the first vacuum I see that with permanent attachment like that. It's ridiculous. I'm not sure what their engineers been thinking about, but it's ridiculous. You guys gonna find a huge pain in the butt to just live with that. This one you can just pull out. The brush itself is not great. I've seen complaints about the brush. I can expect this brush probably not gonna last long. However, I can see how Dreamebot can actually easily solve it and just sell upgraded replacement brushes, and I would expect it to be like a silicone. That material for the brush is much better. Without using these fibers, they could just use a silicone and make it maybe a little longer as well. But as I said, you know, this is an easy fix if they can hear the feedback, and if they can just update it. It's an easy fix. It's not expensive. You can just buy an updated brush for it. Then you click it in and it's there. Still really good. This brush has these little fibers here, not just a silicone, because of the patent, I believe, over there, because that brush is better. It doesn't attract hair as much. So I never actually pulled it out, so let's try and see how easy it is to remove. I already have some hair on it. As you see, relatively clean, and the mechanism of removing is the same, pretty easy. And just to be fair, let's remove this one as well. And it's the same, it's pretty clean. Not right there though. You can see it, right? Inside there is dust. Over here, as you see, not so much. But to be fair, I used that vacuum probably like 3 times more already, so maybe that's why. So let's put it back, and everything like here is so similar, partially because this company, I believe both of these vacuums are produced by company, what's the name, Xiaomi, and this vacuum and that vacuum, they both actually made by that company. So which is why I'm even more surprised. I can't wrap my head around why. Also, this stuff you guys gonna have to clean a lot if you remove it. Over here I cleaned it multiple times already. Some people said you would need to wash these brushes. Oh, by the way, I haven't showed you on W10, the brushes are magnetic. Yeah, and it's talking. The brushes are magnetic, so you remove it, they're just there by the magnet, and they're spring loaded as well. So it actually applying this pressure to the floor all the time, and it's kind of flexible. In this case, not so much with this vacuum, you're not gonna have any kind of spring loading. It's just flat and hard. And if your floor has like little, you know, in imperfections, or maybe it's not completely flat, and I can tell you many tiles are not completely flat. This is gonna suffer. It's gonna just miss it completely. The water path from this one up the mopping path, it's looking perfect. This is the best mopping path I have seen, even compared to the this vacuum. It's still better, surprisingly. So for mopping, I would say this vacuum is like 10 out of 10. It's really good. Yes, it does not have its own water, but it's able to actually go and wet these things. And I think it's even better. It's not better than Shinebot, of course, but Shinebot doesn't cover the floor imperfections as good as this one. This vacuum is going to have, it has huge battery. Battery is enough for, I expect it's gonna be enough for like 2,000 square feet house. I haven't done it in one pass, but I expect it's gonna be enough. It's a huge 6,000 milliamp battery on it. And the only problem so far with this vacuum that I have, it's carpet detection. First of all, sometimes it's actually pushes against the carpet with this little brush, and it lifts it, and it creates a problem. It's not playing well with carpets. I don't have many carpets. That's the only carpet I have in my house, and it's not deep carpet. It's very like quite thin carpet, right? And it's not playing well with carpets at all. So far, it was struggling to the software, the way it moves. I think the programming itself is noticeably better with Roborock. With Roborock, you're gonna suffer for like first time once it's gonna map and everything. Then you have to do initial programming, no-go zones, all that stuff. It's a suffering. However, once you do that, Roborock is pretty smart. The software inside, it's moving really nice, and it's gonna avoid, if it's not gonna, let's say it's not gonna hit the same obstacle twice, basically. If it hit it once, it's gonna record there is an obstacle there. This, however, already 3 times, the base for this vacuum is by my dining table, and 3 times it left its base, and 3 times it's actually hitting the table leg for some reason, almost at a full speed. So software could be better. It's something that can be fixed by the manufacturer over the air, and I would really hope they do it, because this is an excellent, so far the best vacuum I've tested, and it's a really good vacuum. For $1,000, the software could be better. That's what I expect. Aside from vacuum detection, it was doing some weird moves where it's like it goes into shape like that, right, inside, and it was trying to get out of it and just rotating too much, which those motions they don't make sense. As I do coding myself, and all you need to do is just follow the wall and keep rotating in one direction. It's not really difficult coding, but yet it's struggling for some reason. I don't know why. Again, this is something that can be fixed with a firmware update and software update. So I'm hoping they're gonna do it, because otherwise, I absolutely love this vacuum. It's beautiful as well. It's not rattling. I don't like the overly gloss finish on this Roborock. To be honest, I was not a fan of it. I was just kind of dealing with it. It's very glossy. You can see all the dust on it. You can see every single fingerprint. You're gonna open this once. Fingerprints are gonna stay there. This one, on the other hand, is it's not as glossy, and it's matte finish on the front and the back, and the top is kind of glossy. However, you don't really have any fingerprints even if you touch it. It doesn't. They're obviously there, but they're not noticeable as much. What else? Let me see if I can think of something else. Yes, the software. The software is the problem with this. It's not a deal breaker. However, I was trying to do Russian language. It's not that I require it. I do speak English, but just for fun, I wanted to switch to Russian, and it wouldn't. It's some bug. It just doesn't install that language at all. It just keeps basically resetting to English, back to English. Same happened with French. It doesn't install French. It did install German. However, these languages, they're in the list in the software. It's obviously a bug. However, I was not able to install it. In case you cannot work with English, it may give you some issues. And I think this model is relatively new. There is so little documentation online for it. I was not able to find any solutions for like language switching issue in the app. This, for example, happens when you pull it out and you try to put it and dock. It's a software problem with, it's just gonna, I don't know what it's doing. I actually literally put it right by the dock over there and just starting positioning and doing some absolutely weird stuff, which doesn't make any sense. Okay, now position is succeeded. So I guess it was trying to position, and you see what it does. By the way, this is already on a map for a while, and it keeps hitting inside the chair. It keeps hitting, but then it's gonna obviously go around it and basically dock. And once it docks, I'm gonna show you as well what happens there. So as you see, guys, the main issues are software related. Everything else is like so excellent. I so love it, which is why I'm really hoping they're gonna update the software. Mop dehydrating, which is really nice feature. It doesn't only wash the mop, it also dehydrated. There is a little fan there with a heater, and it makes sure that the mold doesn't grow, especially in wet areas if you have like high humidity in your house and things like that. However, with Roborock, it's gonna, I didn't have this issue because I tend to wash it right away with Roborock. But people said, you know, because some people are gonna leave it probably or something, and they said it would smell like mold and it would get nasty pretty much. This is basically a solution for that problem. The base is pretty big, I would say. What you have here, you have a clean water compartment, which is a little over a gallon. It's a 4-liter tank, and you have a dirty water tank, which is also 4-liter. This is enough for the full house cleaning for me for probably twice. So you don't have to change it as much. However, this changing, it's not nearly the same as anything else, like Roborock or Shinebot. Shinebot maintenance is a mess. You're gonna get your hands dirty and everything. Over here, you just basically pull it out. The water is gonna be relatively clean if you clean your house, if your house is not nasty, basically. So you just open this. It's all open, it's easy to clean, even if you have some debris inside. Close it back, put it here, refill the water. Everything is simple, there is not much effort involved. And overall, I love it. Overall, this is my #1 vacuum so far, and I really like it. I really like how it cleans. So in case you guys wanted to have some insight like mine, this is it.